Hi everyone, I'm Sarah Childhood Finds. We're doing a small haul video today. It's going to mostly surround around a book buy that I did, and I just wanted to share with you. So I don't have a ton of different things to share with you like I do in my typical hauls where I like to have a little bit of everything. It's a lot of this one thing. You can see them behind me. A lot of books. It's a lot of books, but it's a pretty amazing buy, and it's actually my biggest purchase ever that I've done. So I am really excited about that. It beat my Department 56 in how much I spent. So I don't know if it'll beat it in value, but it definitely beat it in how much I spent. I spent I about it was $1,340 all in on it was almost I think it was 180 Franklin Library books. And then I also got a set of 22 books of a different set. And then I've got a chunk of books from a rummage sale. So I got over 200 books that I'm going to be working through. But the 1,340 with just the Franklin Library and the 22 book set that I bought, it was the Western Time Life series books that I didn't bring out a bunch of those to share with you because they're heavy and they take up space. So I'm going to talk about that. And then I also just have some other assorted stuff I'm going to share with you today. And I wanted to be able to share this video to show that you guys have seen me having a lot of trouble sourcing over the last few months, over the last year. And so it's been a struggle, and I have just tried to keep pushing forward, and I'm trying to make connections. So I am also paying up for items. I'm willing to negotiate. I am stepping out of my comfort zone, and that's what's leading me to these buys. And I'm hopeful that maybe this will lead to more things like this in the future. And so I just want to share it with you today to encourage you guys to keep stepping out of your comfort zone, make connections with people, tell people what you do. I mean, I don't tell everyone what I do, obviously. I just don't. I kind of read the situation, but I'm telling more people, and I'm getting more comfortable with that because it's making a difference in my business this year. So let's start talking about some of the things that I picked up. I'm going to show you some of the assorted stuff, and then I'll talk about the big purchase that I made. So let's start with a couple of the rummage sale books I picked up. These I paid, like $1.50 for. And this is Stephen King. It's one of those special, I believe it's a Barnes and Noble edition, and it's Carrie, The Shining, and Salem's Lot. A lot of times those Barnes and Noble ones aren't worth a ton, but they're beautiful books. This one actually is worth some pretty good money. I think this one is worth about 50. I picked it up because it's Stephen King and it was pretty. And I hadn't seen this one ever before, which has also led me to pick it up too. And then there was also this one, and this one was The Stand. And this is actually worth about $80, I believe, and it's in just beautiful condition. I barely see any signs of wear on it. So, I mean, it was a good pickup. And all in all, probably on all the stuff I bought this weekend, I'm not sharing all of it with you, but I spent probably $1,600, which is scary for me to spend because I also spent so much the previous weekend on my other bulk lot. So I am working really hard to start getting that stuff listed, but that's been one of my goals is I want to get out of debt, and I want to be able to have that cash flow that I can just go and make these buys, because that's what the difference is it's hard for people to go and drop 2,000, 3,000 on a big buy, even if it's worth it, because you just don't have the extra cash sitting around, which is me still. It is. I just scrounged for this buy, but it's why I'm working so hard right now to get into financial freedom, is because I want to be able to make those big buys. Because I'm going to tell you guys, buying the collections and making those bulk buys are what's going to grow your business a lot, because you're not having to go and find all those single items and spend so much of your hard earned time doing so. I still do that, of course, but the bulk buys are what have got me through this year. I think this is my fifth bulk buy this year, and yard sales haven't been great for me for the most part, but these five bulk buys have probably 30 to 40 grand at least worth in value that I've sold from them already. So it has made all the difference for my business this year, and something I hope I can increase tenfold next year. So that's why I'm working so hard to get out of debt and to save money so that I can just go and make these buys and not have to worry. So let's keep looking at some books. This one, it's not worth a ton, but it's signed. It's Khalid Hosseini. It's a novel, And the Mountains Echoed. I'd never heard of this one, but there was a note inside that said autographed by the author. So then I looked a little further, and it is. I need to move this a little so that I can put solds up over here, because I like to put either my listings or solds over here to share with you the value of these items or more information. So that one I think is only about $20, which is fine because, again, I didn't pay very much at this rummage sale. I paid up on my bulk buy that I'll share with you, but I still am going to make it's going to be a good deal. It was paying up in a sense. And then I got some of these ones that are Brandon Sanderson, and they're special edition books. Let me see if it says they're beautiful. So I picked them up because they were cheap. This one's Tress of the Emerald Sea, and I picked up a chunk of these Brandon Sanderson ones, a few of them. So this one's The Frugal Wizard's Handbook for Surviving Medieval England. This one I believe is about $30 worth, and I believe this one's about $40 to $50 worth. So guys, this is, again, don't discount books, because books, once you learn them, really can be valuable. I'm going to try to do more research videos on books, because there are also so many that aren't valuable, and it's definitely work to know. The Sunlit Man, I didn't look this one up. I have no idea what this one's worth. And then this one is Yumi and the Nightmare Painter. They're beautiful. They're just beautiful books, and picked all of those up at the rummage sale. Okay, now I bought quite a bit of yarn too, and so I'm going to show you a little bit of that. So I'm just showing you one pack of this. This is Sundance Varsity Frill, and it's like a light blue, dark blue mix, and this is a pack of 5. I think I probably have 30 to 40 skeins of this, and so I'm probably going to lot them into groups of 10 and just either put up a multi-quantity or make separate listings for them. But, I bought this at the rummage sale, and it's worth it. It's not going to sell for a ton, a couple dollars a piece in a big lot, but that's, again, fine with me when it comes to yarn. And then I got this yarn at kind of an estate sale. So I paid like $20 for all the yarn I bought there, and this is just some of it. And this is Bernat, and it's baby blanket yarn. It's that nice cushy yarn. It's 6 of them. And you can tell someone bought this at Savers. It still has the Savers tag. What year? Doesn't say the year. So this, I imagine, probably $25, maybe 20 to 25, because this is kind of a more desirable one, especially with the colors of it. Now these, I don't know how much they're worth yet, but I was going to take the chance on them because of what they were, and I haven't actually seen any of these in the wild. So this one is a 2002 limited edition Sasha, and it's Bratz Beach Party. It is open over here, but it's still new in the package. So I paid $20 for it, and I don't know. I'm hoping for $100, even with the open condition. I think it was just the tape gave out on it. I'll just put that in the description. But I'm hoping for 100 plus on it, because I did spend 20. And then I also bought this one that's Bratz Boys, Dylan. And these ones I know aren't typically as valuable, but this one isn't open and never has been open. I don't believe. It looks like it might have some new tape on it. So I'm just going to describe them probably as used and put pictures of them, because some people want these in pristine condition and these are not. And I paid $20 for this one as well. And then I bought 2 other figures at that sale. Never seen them before, and so 10 was a bit to pay because I'm taking a chance on them. They are vintage though. They're Meet the Robinsons. I think they're vintage. I'd have to find a year on them, but I don't think I could find a year. They're older. How about that? And they're from the Disney store. There's a few different figures to collect. So this one is Lewis, and I have Wilbur. So I have Wilbur and Lewis, and I paid 10 each. So I kind of gambled on these just on the fact that I'd never seen them before and they were new in package. So I'm hoping maybe there's something that's a little more scarce out there and I luck out. And if not, they're going to be great for the Christmas season, but I am hopeful that these will be worth it. So now that we've talked about some of that stuff, let's look at my big purchase. So I purchased all of these Franklin Library books. It was right around 180. And so what I did is I brokered a deal per book, a price per book. So I paid $7 per book. which is a scary number because I will say a lot of these books are worth $15 to $25 and some are worth 10. And a couple of the ones so far I found are water damage. So it's definitely a gamble. I will probably put a little interjection in here to let you know how it's going, whether how many I've listed, what the value is, how much I've sold. I'll try to put a little interjection. But they are worth picking up, especially if you can get them a little cheaper. I am not unhappy with this deal. It was at an estate sale, and I talked to the son. The estate sale company connected me with the son when I offered to buy all of them. And we brokered a deal that I feel was fair for me and I can still make money, and also for them because they just didn't know what they had. And, their biggest thing was they didn't want to be selling $500 books for $1. And so I don't believe there's any super duper valuable ones in here, but there's definitely some really good ones that I have found. And so I paid $7 a book. And even if all of them turn out to be worth, even if I average $20 a book, I'd still be happy with it because I don't have to go out and source these. And they're beautiful, great inventory. But I do think I am going to do pretty well on them. I will have to wait and see, but I think it'll work out pretty well. So, okay, here's an awkward interjection about the Franklin Library books. So I've listed most of them. I probably have about 20 or so left of them. And the average price I've listed them for is around $36. And I'm very happy with that. It's better than I thought it would be because there are some really good ones. Even with the few water damage ones I've found, there are some good ones in there. They're definitely the more scarce ones, and that's why I lucked out. There's some more signed ones that I didn't even know were there. A lot of the Franklin Library ones, sometimes the signed ones still are only worth $15, $20, so don't get too excited if you see a signature, but some of them are special. And I'm very happy with the buy. I've so far sold about $700 worth, and I am hopeful to make a good profit on this. It's going to take some time to sell, but I priced them all really competitively. So I just want to talk about Franklin Library in general. So this is a division of the Franklin Mint, and these books were made from 1970s to they ended in 2000. So these books are no longer made. They're collectible books, and they are made in a couple varieties, either a full leather like the ones I'm going to be showing you, a quarter leather, or an imitation leather. It's basically just hardcover. And so those ones are the least valuable, then typically to the quarter, and the full tend to be more valuable. And there are some gems within the Franklin Library books, not as many as in the Easton Press series of books, but definitely some gems to look for, especially if you get volume sets. I have some of those that I'll have if I have them all. I don't know yet, but I just want to share some of the different ones with you. So there's ones that are signed. So they had series of signed books, and this is John Foles, The Collector. And so I don't want to open it too much because you can tell these were shelf sitters. It was a beautiful collection, and they're mostly shelf sitters, but there are signed ones and there's special series that they did. So another one, this is part of the signed limited edition from the Franklin Library. Like here, that's another one. This is Rabbit Redux by John Updike. And the different series will also affect value for these books, because what will happen is the same book will be released in multiple different series because it'll fit in multiple different series. And it'll also be released either in imitation, quarter leather, full leather. And so you have to know exactly which one you have because it could vastly affect the value. Like I had one of the imitation leathers, Alice in Wonderland. That one sold for $20, but I just sold the full leather edition from this buy for $80. And if you do not research and know the difference and look at the difference, you would miss out on quite a bit of money or price it too high as well. And a lot of times you can see it, it'll say it right in the book what series it's a part of. It'll also, you can look at just what it looks like, and you can look at other listings and just match what it looks like to other listings. And then so there's other series to look for. So this one's the collected stories of the world's greatest writers, and so there's a lot in that one. This one is Jean-Paul Sartre, and it's The Wall and Other Stories. And not most of the Franklin libraries you find won't have these, but they're notes from the editors, and those can be good little pieces to add on to your books. I have them for most of mine. But that's another series. Another one that I don't have to share with you an example of is it's the 100 Greatest Books. And that is one, if you can get the 100 greatest books in a full volume collection, you can typically get $4 to $5 grand for it because of that collection factor of it. I don't think I really have many of that one in here. This other one, next one I'm going to show is, this is a limited first edition published by the Franklin Library exclusively for members of the First Edition Society. And just so you know, just because it's a first edition or it's signed doesn't necessarily mean it's worth hundreds. There are many of the signed ones that are worth $20, $25, $30. So just keep that in mind. Don't go to a sale and see it and have it, and make a mistake and pay too much for it. Definitely look it up first. And so this one is E.L. Doctorow, Loon Lake. And again, just a beautiful book. These have pretty much not been done or used. So that's another series to look for within the Franklin Library. And then I got one more set aside. And this is the greatest books of the 20th century. And typically, along with like the Easton Presses, you would do a subscription for these books and get them periodically. And you could just purchase them outright as well. This one is Look Homeward, Angel, Thomas Wolfe. And so that's part of that series. And then I think I have one more here that I pulled out. And this one is the Collector's Library of the World's Best Loved Books. And this is Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. And this is one of those that I'm wondering if it's valuable. And you also do need to look them all up, because some of them you will think will be super valuable because you recognize the name and it's got to be worth it because everybody wants it. And sometimes it won't be. And then some of the ones that you don't expect will be worth it. So this Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde could only be worth $20, but it also could be worth $80. You have to learn them and just look up every one and make sure you're finding within the right series and all of that, whether it's leather, etc. So that's a little bit about that. And I have a few others here you can kind of see. So I have a lot of them. I'm not going to show you all of them, but it's 180. I have 6+ boxes of them that I'm currently working through. And right now I'm keeping a spreadsheet of what I'm listing them for and what they're selling for, just as a little extra, because I like to keep track of my bulk buys to know that I'm learning and if I'm making a good buy, and if it's not, then I'll know for the future. So that's a big reason why I do that and take the extra time. Eventually, I usually give up on the spreadsheets. I don't typically stick with it the whole time, but it helps give me an idea of how much I have listed and whether I spent too much and etc. If I could have spent more to broker the deal, it just helps me for the future. So now after talking about those, let's look at just a little bit of other stuff before we end this video. So then I haven't found one of these in the wild in such a long time, and I didn't actually find it. My partner found it at a yard sale, and this yard sale had been going on for hours. And it's a TI 84 Plus Silver Edition, and it's yellow. So the yellow ones are typically the teacher ones, and it's working. I already tested it. So this will probably sell the same day I list it if I price it well. I think it's worth about $35-ish or so. I picked up a little bit of flatware. It's not anything super valuable. It's a pattern I picked up many times before. It's Oneida, and it's Kennett Square, I believe, is the pattern. And here's just a little bit of it. I didn't bring all of it in. It'll probably work out to about 8 play settings, maybe a little more, maybe a little less, depending. But I only paid $8 for all of it, so I'll be able to park that out and make some money. And then I also picked up another Oneida I haven't seen before. It's not worth a ton, but it's cute. And it's Oneida Holiday Color Mates. And it's just real cute. I'm going to end up taking it out of the box because it's rattling around in there. I don't know if it's complete. I didn't even look at it at the sale. Maybe I should have. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, it's all in there. But it's like so... Yeah, I'm probably going to take it out of the box. But I might sell that all in one lot. And I'm going to get that listed this week because 'tis the season. And then these I kind of gambled on, I suppose, because I don't deal a lot. I know that Clarks aren't super valuable, but these ones were brand new, and I paid $5 each for them. They're a size 7, so a decent size. Won't fit me, but a decent size. And I'm hoping, even if I make $20, because I bought 3 different ones. So even if I just make $20 each on all of them, I'd be okay with that. It's not my best buy, but again, I'm just learning. I'm getting inventory. Getting new stuff is always nice. And then these ones are really nice. They feel really nice. I do wish they were my size because they look cozy. But they are, what are they? The cloud steppers or something? Or at least a few of them are the cloud steppers. But I paid 5 each. So we'll see if it works out for me. Then I got 2 of these, but I'm only going to show you one. And it's a KitchenAid pasta press. And I looked this up. It's basically new in box. I'm not going to sell it as new. And I'm going to just show the condition of it. It probably is about $80. And I got 2 of these at the Rummage sale. And along with that, at the Rummage sale, I also got another kitchen thing. I actually forgot to grab the second one because there's 2 of these as well. But it's heavy. This one's so heavy. This is the Atlas 150 Wellness pasta maker thingy. It's like an attachment, I think. I don't know. But I think this one's worth like 35 or so in this condition. And, I paid, I think overall like 110 because my mother-in-law bought some stuff and gave me some money for that. So overall 110 at this Rummage sale for everything I got. And so, these pasta makers pay for it. So guys, I think that's pretty much all I'm sharing with you today. Not a huge, crazy haul in the sense of different kinds of items, but definitely this bulk buy that's going to absolutely help my winter and holiday sales. So I'm very excited for that and just hopeful that I can continue to increase the bulk buys. Just get out there and step out of your comfort zone, guys. That's what I did to get this bulk buy. I reached out and I never reach out before sales. I never tried to do that, and I did, and it worked out. And I also was just kind. I was kind and I was reasonable because that's why the estate sale company told me that they wanted to work with me, even though other people offered to buy all these books, was because they could tell that I cared and I was kind and understanding because I kept telling them like it's okay. I understand if the people don't want to sell them for cheaper. I understand if they don't want to, if they want to move them, etc. And so I just tried to never be pushy. That was the biggest thing. I just never want to be pushy and I never want to be rude. I want to always respect. Like I talked to the gentleman here. This was his childhood. All these books were part of his childhood and he remembers seeing them his whole time growing up. I couldn't insult that. It's part of his life. And I just want to be able to respect that because I get it because I'm going through my dad's estate and I don't want someone to come in and make me feel bad about it, etc. So that's what I tried to do is just be kind and be true to myself. And that helped me get this deal. So hopefully that leads to more in the future. So guys, thank you for joining me for this one and I'll see you on the next ones.